Alright, I'm going to try to make this quick. The college baseball tournament starts tomorrow, and a major clue was dropped, in my opinion. Just for reference, this is the 79th ever Division I college baseball tournament, and on what I don't know what day this was, April 5th, in my opinion, a major clue was dropped. The UCLA Bruins women's basketball team won the national title for women's college basketball, and they did so with 79 points. Again, Bruins equals 79, just like Society of Jesus equals 79. That game was on the 5th of April, 5/4, as you see right there. And that's also the 95th day of the year. Remember, the Jesuits were formed to counter the 95 Theses, and they were formed in 1534. 95 is the 34th semi-prime. It's also the anniversary of MLK being assassinated. Or was I can't remember if MLK was assassinated. No, he was assassinated on April 4th, I think. But it was the 95th day of the year, so it's a leap year. But, okay, anyways. And when I saw this score and who won it, it reminded me of 3 years ago when LSU won the women's college basketball tournament. And they did so on 4/2. Again, Jesuits got that 42. Jesuit 42. They won it on 4/2, and there's 187 total points. Jesuit 42, Society of Jesus 187. And then a few months later, LSU baseball won the College World Series. And this was the this was the 76th College World Series. This was a big skull and bones ritual. It was connected to the manager of LSU, Jay Johnson. He had the skull and bones numbers, 41 and 49 as well. But actually, I can't remember if 49 is a skull and bones number, but 41 definitely is. And yeah, Tigers equals Jesuit. Look at the overlap there. 78, 84. Yeah, and they won that game on, I believe it was the 177th day of the year. Yeah. June 26th. That was the 177th day of the year, the day leaving 188 days left in the year. So it's the big Jesuit Illuminati Day. Again, the Jesuit Order 201. But yeah, that was a span of 86 days. Read out Jesuits equals 86. So anyways, back to the original point. When I saw this and I saw who won and by what score, it brought me back to 2023 when LSU women's basketball and baseball both won the national championship in major Jesuit rituals. And this is the 79th Division I baseball title. And Society of Jesus equals 79. Again, Bruins equals 79. UCLA is the number 1 seed in the number 1 ranked overall team in the country coming in. I'm pretty sure they're going to win it. I know it wouldn't be like a gotcha moment because they're the favorite, but still, from the women's Final Four game to now, there's always 2 potential dates that the college baseball tournament could end because it's double elimination. So it could end either on June 21st or June 22nd. If it ends on June 22nd, that's a span of 79 days after UCLA women's won the national title with 79 points. And it's also 11 weeks and 2 days, like how Catholicism equals 112. Jesuits claim to operate in 112 countries. Even if it's not that day and it's the 21st, that would be a span of 78 days. And remember, Jesuit does equal 78. We'll see what happens. I was looking at the regional, I'll give a shout out to my alma mater, Cal Poly. They're playing in the UCLA regional. I don't think they're going to make it out. But yeah, looking at this first game that UCLA plays against St. Mary's. So UCLA has 51 wins on the season. Now, unless they lose early, it's likely going to take them 10 wins to win the College World Series. So if they win 3 games in this first round, they'll have 54. And we know that Jesuit order equals 54. And then if they win, then they'll win 2 more in the Super Regionals, which will put them at 56. And then they'll probably win 3 more in the first part of the College World Series, which will put them at 59. And I'm not sure if there's I can't remember if there's a UCLA 59 connection. I don't think there is, but it would put them in prime position then to win 61 games. And Jesus equals 61. And also remember, Jesus supposedly was sacrificed. Jesus was supposedly sacrificed on April 3rd. So if they do win it on June 21st, that would be 79 days after Jesus was sacrificed, or after the anniversary of Jesus' crucifixion date, the 79th College World Series. That would be interesting. That's definitely something to think about. I guess one thing I should look, what day of the year is June? So that's 172. Oh, shoot. I can't remember. There is a Jesuit connection to 172, and it's escaping me right now. But I'm sure I'll remember it at some point. And I think if I'm going to pick one team to who I think they would play, if we look at the bracket here, I was looking through the gematria of some of the top teams. Remember, it's the year of the 122nd World Series, and I've noticed in the few years that I've been analyzing the College World Series script, the teams that have the numbers for the World Series, the Major League World Series, they often do well. They don't always win it, but they often do well. Texas is one of the top-ranked teams. And you see here, they are on the other side of the bracket from UCLA, so they can meet in the finals. And the Longhorns has got that 122, like it's the year of the 122nd World Series. And Texas is, I believe Texas is the 6th-ranked team. So UCLA, who enters the tournament on 51 wins on the season, if they win 10 more, they will get to 60. It's not showing their win-loss record here, but let's see if it's up here. Yeah, 51. So they can get to 61 in a 6th ranked versus 1st ranked matchup in the finals. I'm liking that narrative. But yeah, just to show you here, like look at how perfect they make this. Look how well thought out this is. St. Mary's 34 wins, 25 losses. What does UCLA equal? 26. Yeah, I guess I should look at the gematria of UCLA's manager, John Savage, if he has anything interesting. 51, they won 51 games in the regular season. Well, I guess what we can do, we can look at the last couple of College World Series titles just to show you what the gematria was behind that one. Last year was the 78th College Baseball Tournament. That was won by LSU, who's the Tigers. Tigers is 78. The year before that, it was Tennessee. That was the 77th tournament. They're the Volunteers. Or maybe it's, is it Tennessee? Tennessee Volunteers is 77. And yeah, their manager's Tony Vitello. His name equals 56. And then later that year in the World Series, Dave Roberts, his real name is David Roberts, he got his 56th ever playoff win. And I should mention last year that LSU got their 53rd win of the season. I don't know where I can find it. Yeah, we can show here. LSU finished the year with 53 wins. Who won the World Series last year? Was it Los Angeles 53? And then, so we just talked about 2024. 2023, yeah, LSU, I said that was a major Jesuit tournament. They won 54 games that year. On the 177th day of the year, they got their 54th win. Yeah, just to show you here, LSU 54 wins. And the year before that, it was Ole Miss. Ole Miss. That was 2022 was a major Jesuit year. The Ole Miss Rebels has got that 54, just like Jesuit Order. I think their coach. Yeah, his name equals 188, like how they won it on the day, leaving 188 days left in the year. And they get connected to, yeah, Rebels is 61, and then later that year, the Houston Astros end up winning the World Series in their 61st season. Yeah, Jesus got that 61. 283 is the 61st prime. They had that big 28-3 comeback between Matt Ryan, Jesuit educated, and Tom Brady, who's I don't remember if I can't remember if Sarah High School is Jesuit or if it's just Catholic. I think it's just Catholic. I don't think it's Jesuit. Yeah, it's just Catholic. But still, I mean, the Jesuits are Catholic. Yeah, and that 28-3 comeback was in Houston too. The 2021 College World Series, I don't know the script behind that one. Yeah, I'd have to do more research on that one. But yeah, the College World Series title it's always a hint for who's going to win the Major League Baseball World Series. And yeah, we'll see what it's like this year. I mean, it's clearly a Jesuit tournament with it being the 79th edition. That's not the right page. The right page. 79th tournament. So clearly a Jesuit ritual. And if it, shoot, I can't remember. I'd have to check out. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, okay, so it's ad merum de gloriam equals 172. I knew there was something. Ad merum de gloriam 172. Oh, it's also got the Pearl Harbor numbers too, funny enough. 116, attack on Pearl Harbor 116, and 314, which is the 100th semi-prime. Is 341 a prime number? No, but it is semi-prime. What is the 341st semi-prime? Or what 341 is what semi-prime? It is the one. No, that's 314. 110th semi-prime. Huh. That's something to think about. Huh. But yeah, 172. And the tournament could end on the 172nd day of the year. Alright, I'll probably edit this video to take out all the time I spent looking for 172. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I'm not going to go through and look at each regional. I did that a couple of years ago. It's just, I don't want to say it's a waste of time, but there's just like so much information to look at. And I was looking at some of the name gematria, some of these teams, there really wasn't much that stood out. Like the only thing that stood out to me was, I just mentioned, like Bruins equals 79 and Longhorns equals 122. I did notice Tarleton State, they're the Texans, they also equal 79. They're in the same regional as UT. I actually did go on a couple of dates with a girl that went to Tarleton. Yeah, I think the other one was I think it was Troy Trojans. Yeah, Troy Trojans also equals 122. So we'll see if I can't remember what regional Troy's in. I think they're in the Florida regional. Where's Troy? Yeah, they're in the Florida regional. So maybe Troy pulls off an upset. Who knows? Yeah, there's too much to look at in a field of 64. When it gets down to the super regionals, then maybe I'll start looking at the individual matchups. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. And I know UCLA is the favorite, so if you're gonna bet, maybe you want to parlay it with something else. But yeah, we'll see. You know, it'd be very interesting if they win it 79. They win the 79th College World Series 79 days after the anniversary of Jesus' crucifixion. That would be very fascinating, especially right after UCLA women's won it on 5/4. Which arena is that? The okay, that's the same. That name arena. The name of that arena has changed a million times. Okay, but anyways, that's enough. I'll probably do another video previewing the Stanley Cup final. I might do a video after Champions League final as well, depending on the result. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We'll catch you guys later.